First of all, David, congratulations on a very good show. An incredibly good show. Last night, standing ovation with a preview. Tonight, again, the audience on their feet, clapping at the end. You've translated something. This makes it a new piece, yet a classical piece at the same time. An incredible job with the cast. It's a lovely piece.
Thank you. Yeah, it's certainly been a labor of love. I mean, it's such a cliche to say, but how do you not say it about something where, I mean, literally for me, between translating and directing, I've been going at this pretty much full time for 5 months. So it's, you know, close to half a year of spending my life on this. And I would have happily taken more time, but circumstances dictated that that was what the turnaround was. So we use the time we have to full advantage, as Ivo Valentik was saying to me before we totally committed to the project. And I was wondering, you know, is it too soon? This is a massive thing to take on. Can it all be done? And he said, well, you know, pressure creates diamonds. And I took him at it and used that as an excuse to say it may be crazy, but I'll give it a shot. And yeah, poured heart and soul into it for many months, and I dare say I think it's paid off. I think it's a show to be proud of.
What gave you the incentive to attack this play, this Cyrano?
Oh, it's a play that I've been fascinated by and absorbed and captivated by since I was in school. It was actually French immersion courses rather than theater that exposed me to it, and that's how I first read it, and I just adored it. But I was studying theater at the full theater at the same time, and I was starting to formulate the decision around the time that I was reading it. The theater is what I would want to do, and part of studying it as an exercise for French class was taking a part of the play and putting it on its feet. And I remember that performance. I remember it being pretty disastrous, but the attempt and the challenge of it stuck with me. And I kept thinking about it, and it would come back every year or 2 or 3. It would haunt my brain about, it would be really nice to tackle Cyrano. But then you think, it's so big, how would I manage? And then eventually I realized later, as I got into doing some other translations, that through translation and modest adaptation, something that you look at it and read it and you see all the parts and you think, oh, this has got to take 30, 40 people to do it justice, and such a huge space to do it in. How could you manage? With creativity in the staging and with subtle little shifts, and trying to preserve the story pretty much entirely, but carefully cutting here and there and carefully restructuring, could pare it down to a still big but manageable size, 12 actors, rather than, it's still plenty for professional theater, but it's a lot less than 40, and a little less length because modern taste may have trouble with I'm sure it's well over 3 hours if you do the full original French.